following the Trump administration's sweeping efforts to cut the federal workforce. More agencies announcing mass layoffs that could come as soon as this week. The IRS is the latest, set to lay off thousands of probationary workers in the middle of tax season. This is according to two sources familiar with the agency's plans, and new data already shows an unemployment spike in the district since President Trump has taken office. Nearly 4,000 workers in the city have filed for unemployment insurance. Across the country today, Tesla showrooms served as the backdrops for protests. Groups are rallying against CEO Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency, which has largely ordered the layoffs. News 4's Dominique Moody has new reaction from a federal employee who's among the thousands impacted.
Our actual goal in the department that I work for focuses directly on safety. And, you know, basically all of us were really under the impression that, you know, what we do is very important.
Former FAA employee and disabled veteran Jason found out at the tail end of the shift yesterday that he was one of the thousands of federal workers being laid off.
The environment was kind of like everybody who was working felt like everything that they were doing was almost for no reason. I mean, they just, you know, they didn't feel valued.
The sweeping cuts are part of the Trump administration and the Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, led by Elon Musk's joint effort to shrink the size of the federal workforce. The layoffs are having a ripple effect in the nation's capital, where unemployment numbers have ticked up. According to CNBC, the district reported close to 800 jobless filings for the week ending on February 8th. A 36% increase from the prior week. The latest round of cuts affecting thousands of probationary employees who have yet to see civil service protections kick in. Sources say the IRS is expected to lay off thousands of probationary workers as tax season ramps up.
Stand up to what's going on. This is not okay.
Bill Byrne is set to host a rally on Monday to show support for federal workers.
There are many people, many vulnerable people who are going to be suffering in the coming months, perhaps even in the years. And we can all do something to help those people.
It's not yet clear how many FAA workers or IRS agents were impacted by these latest cuts. In Northwest, Dominique Moody, News 4.
So yeah, shout out to Next Level who's in the building. He says, he knows people that works for the IRS and they are in fear of losing their jobs. Wow. So go ahead, Ronnie. You know Trump, he started with the mass deportations and then he started with that. Now he's going to the federal, and also with Elon Musk, they're trying to, do federal cuts, which will cost a lot of people's jobs. So go ahead, Ronnie. What's your
Now, people may say I'm very biased. I don't mind when it comes to the IRS, some people getting fired because they weren't doing their jobs anyway. There's some people still waiting to hear back from the IRS. So them getting fired, good. They need to fire more of them because, hell, they be having people waiting on the phone for like the whole day. They still don't get no response to the next day. It's crazy when it comes to the IRS. And not that, but Trump mentioned it, and we also talked about it here on Chaoscultureradio, how Trump was saying that a lot of people say they're not going back to work. Those are the people that's being let go. People that say they're not going to return back to work are one of the people that's going to be pretty much being let go because they say, hey, I like working at home. Why we got to go back to work? I like working at home. He said, no, get your behind back in the office. Allow them to say no. So they'll be let go. Now, there's a lot of people that are being let go because the simple fact is certain government funding was funding other things, aka your Ukrainian war, like Next Level spoke about. And not only Next Level spoke about, also SF also spoke about it as well. A lot of money that was going to the federal government was used for other things, and that's what putting a lot of federal government workers into a bad deficit, so they're not able to pay for everybody. That's why tomorrow's not promised, folks. That's why you got to be smart when you get your money and then invest that. Of course, it's not financial advice, but make sure you invest in anything that can make you richer than you was yesterday. Don't be stupid. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people today, they think their job is here tomorrow. No, your job could be gone literally tomorrow. You got to be smart in this game. Go right ahead, Akeem.
Brother, you took the words out of my mouth. I'm going to come at this a different point. a lot of us over the years was complaining that there's not enough money for certain programs. There's not enough money for this. There's not enough money for that. Where's the money going? When you get somebody in office who say, okay, no problem, let's audit everything, it's a problem. There's some departments that are there, we don't even know what they're there for. I didn't know what USIDI was, what they're doing. So now, unaccounted money that are being disappeared, SFU 100. They stated there was 150 years of money being thrown away somewhere. They don't even know where the money go. But every day we're complaining there's not enough money for health care. There's not enough money for roads, not enough money. Now we'll find the money for you. The U.S. government is no different than a multi-corporation. The biggest expense is payroll. We have thousands of people that we're paying and what we're paying for. Some of these people can do 2 jobs for one. We don't need 5 people to do 5 different things. And that's my point.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you see stuff like this, and we see private companies do the same thing where they have to lay off people or and kind of really cut people off, and kind of really manage how the money works and how we put the payrolls and the money and everything. So I think it's shocking to a lot of people that Trump is really cutting down the federal government, which people that live in Washington D.C. There's a lot of people that say, hey, if I don't get any job, at least I want to go work in the government, because they pay well. Also, long-term security when it comes to benefits, health, and also your 401k and everything. So, yeah, to me, people should suspect stuff like this as we seen a big shift once Trump got to office. First with the deportation, now with with the federal workers and everything. And me, I'm really anxious on how much money they can save, and also as SF said, all the other kind of money has been going to and everything. Because what are these IRS people have been taking checks and everything? That just tell me that there's going to be an investigation out of them. When it comes to investigation against the federal government, and if they found things and they indict you. And they have like a 90% win. And when they indict you, they have a 90% chance of winning that case. We might see that going down the road, gentlemen. We might see that going down the road.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for being here. And $32 trillion Hakeem was missing. That's what you mean. $32 trillion was missing. Just on that caveat.
Not billions of dollars. Not billions, trillions.
That's the money that's supposed to go to the federal government workers. But go right ahead, Jordan. Continue.
Look what Muhammad just said. And they're going back into the government office instead of working from home. They are laying off new people first. My homeboy works in D.C. You're right. Listen, I'm not saying that, Muhammad, I'm not saying it's fair. But the point I want to get is, where's the money going? This is the first time, Muhammad, that anybody has ever audited the government. Where anything as far as the government, we don't know where money is going. We don't. Now it's just starting to expose things. And I know they might not like the messenger, but the application is says, I want to know. Okay, let's see receipts.
I want to say one last thing, Hakeem. There was I think it was 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, right? I did my taxes, right, and then the next year I found out I was owed $700 for the government. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they don't do their job correctly. Yeah, they don't do their job correctly.
Yeah, $700. I was like, wait a minute. They how
okay, but lazy. That was it.
So I experienced for first that wait a minute, I had $700 that's unaccounted for that was owed to me. So,
moving along. Yeah, I agree.